Hello everyone, my name is Mike Kittner from 360 Heroes, and we're here to talk about importing photos using CamMan and organizing them to get them ready to do batch stitching inside PTGUI. So to start, what we'd like to do here is each one of these folders have the GoPro sequence images from each one of the cameras. And what we want to do is merge all of these photos into one common folder so that we can use PTGUI to do a batch stitch of everything. To start, let's open up CamMan here, and let's briefly go over the two areas that we're going to work with. First thing we want to do is work with the workspace that we're dealing with, which is on my S drive time-lapse. So we're going to go to my S drive and work with the time-lapse folder. Now there's two areas to do this. The first thing we want to do is convert the content to CamMan. We're going to use this particular area. And then after we convert everything, we're going to go to Workflow Tools, Manage Takes, and then we're going to manage time-lapse photos here. So we'll go through a couple sequences on how that works. So let's begin by going over to our Convert area. And we want to load our batch location, and by default, because our workspace area is S:" time-lapse, it starts off in this folder, which is good. Now we'll create our time-lapse test, and our cam folder name is the prefix name that follows the number. So we notice we have cam 1, cam 2, cam 3, cam 4. This could be camera 1 or camera 2. We're just taking the common denominator prefix and adding that to this list over here, and then we'll load it. Now here we've got our folders, our 6 folders that we're working with, and then we have 20 folders, 20 photo count in each one of the folders. Now let's convert this to a readable batch format. All right, so now if we look at our folder, it's created the CamMan project folder. And then inside of here, it's actually created a time-lapse sequence. So here we got sequence 1 of camera, sequence 2 of cameras 1 through 6, sequence 3, and so forth. Now if we want to see this data, we go to our workflow tools, remember, manage takes, and manage time-lapse photos. It remembers the project that we created here. And if I go to zoom this out here a little bit, it shows you each one of the folders and the files in each. And if you want to see what that image is, all you got to do is click one of the cells, and it'll show you the actual sequence that we're working with. And you can see that each one of the folders properly lined up. Now, if they did line up, we can grab one of these if we wanted to and actually say delete cell. And notice now that you can see that this one started, this started, this started. Oh, now we got something weird going on here inside the sequence. So we can go back here and say, oh, we got something out of sequence here. So we can add a cell. And then as soon as we add a cell, you can see how the images line back up again. So that allows you to kind of go through each one of the sequences. And then once we do this, we say rename files in grid. So once we rename the files in grid, notice we deleted this one here, so I called it a blank filler to keep everything in sync. Now, if I didn't want this blank filter inside of here, note if I look at the Explorer files now, it tells you the files that we moved, so it always keeps everything active. And then our photos. Now here's our blank filler, but if we have the blank filler, it's not going to stitch that correctly. But we do the blank filler to just kind of help make sure that all these images line up correctly when we go to see that. Now if we say, well, I don't want this row, all I have to do is click an item in this row and say delete row. That row is completed. And then once you're done doing that, you say rename files in grid. Now if we take a look, everything is lined up properly. And if I look in Explorer, notice it also moved over the files that we deleted. So it always keeps everything in sequence in case something physically goes wrong. So that's pretty much how to do time-lapse sequencing. And now what we can do is we can bring up PTGUI here. And if we look at the tools inside of PTGUI, we can bring up our batch builder. And it says generate a new project. And when we generate a new project, we're going to say multiple panoramas per folder. And we have 6 panoramas in each folder. And now it's looking for the folder name that we're going to do our batch stitching from, which is time-lapse photos. And then we hit OK. And now notice these all come together just like what we were doing before. This is using their process. And then if we want to use a template, we can create a template from here, or depending upon what we're doing for stitching, to bring it all together. But that's for another project. The mission here is to get all the data ready so that you can import and start using batch stitching. So again, this is using 360CamMan's converting and then managing takes using the photos. Thank you very much and have a great day.